Namaste, this is Surabhi, a master teacher of chemistry at Vedantu. Welcome to the second session of Sprint Nuclea. So, where we will be discussing some very important questions related to the chapter Atoms and Molecules. So, what will we be covering? What is an atom? Laws of chemical combination, atomic mass, molecular mass, valency and ions, chemical formula, mole concept, and molar mass. So this is the schedule, 11th Feb, that is yesterday. So that is when we started the series, Is Matter Around Us Pure? It's already done. If you haven't watched the video yet, please go and watch it. So today, atoms and molecules, and in the next session, that is tomorrow, so we will be solving some important questions on structure of atom. Ready? And if you are new here, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share this video with your friends as well, so they can learn what are the important questions and how to answer those questions if asked in exam. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success if you love what you're doing. So being happy is very important. Sometimes it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, right? So that is how life is. So what exactly is success, the definitions might differ, if you ask different people, but it is very important to love what you do, waking up with that thought, okay, oh, I love this day because I am going to do what I love. It might be related to your job or studies. So please do enjoy what you love or do what you actually love. So choosing the job or maybe the combination of the subjects which you love and which you don't, or trying to like it, is very important, so that you can actually be happy throughout the years. Here is our first question, 1 marker. So we'll be solving in a minute, where in exam you will be getting 2 to 3 minutes. The question is, the valency of nitrogen in ammonia is 1, 3, 4, 5. So what is the atomic number of nitrogen? It is 7 and its electronic configuration is 5. So its valency is 3 because 8 minus 5. So even if you look at the molecule NH3, so this is how it looks like, right, with a lone pair of electron. So how many electrons are involved? So how do you define valency? The combining capacity of an atom, right? So obviously option B, that is 3, will be the right answer. The next question is, which postulate of Dalton's atomic theory is the result of law of conservation of mass? Can explain law of definite proportion. So this is for almost 2 to 3 marks. So you will get 3 to 4 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes in the exam, but here we'll be solving it in 2 minutes. The result of law of conservation of mass is, do you remember that postulate? Atoms are indivisible. They can be neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. So that was based on the law of conservation of mass. And coming to the law of definite proportions, based on this particular law, Dalton gave us 2 postulates. That is about, one is about the ratio in which the elements combine, it will be always constant. The other one is the relative number and kind of atoms are also constant for a given compound. If, for example, carbon dioxide is CO2 everywhere, right? You cannot say it is CO here, CO2 there. No. So these are the 2 postulates, so which were based on the law of definite proportion. So if you write this, you will be getting 3 marks around. Nice, no? So as I told you, atoms combine in the ratio of small whole numbers. So of course we have seen the drawbacks of these postulates, but these were the 2 postulates that were based on the law of definite proportion, that is, atoms always combine in a simple, that is, small whole number ratio. And the second one is, in compounds, the relative number and kinds of atoms are always constant. Okay, that's the second question. Now moving on, define atomic mass unit. How is it linked with relative atomic mass? That's the question. So we all know AMU. How do you define it? So atomic mass unit, yes. So 112, the mass of carbon-12 isotope, right? Now relative isotope, what we do is we are comparing the mass of an atom with the 112, the mass of carbon-12 isotope. So here relative atomic mass can be given by the mass of that particular element divided by the 112, the mass of C12 atom. So that is where we are comparing. Okay, so for example, the atomic mass unit or the relative atomic mass of oxygen is 16. Okay, so what does it mean? So it means that oxygen is 16 times heavier than 1/12 the mass of carbon 12 unit. That is 1 unit of that carbon 12. So if we are comparing the mass, so our one oxygen atom is 16 times heavier than that 1 unit. Okay, so this is the relationship between the relative atomic mass and atomic mass unit. So atomic mass unit is 1/12 of the mass of one atom of C12. Okay, we are taking C12 isotope only because its atomic mass comes out to be exactly 12. So relative atomic mass of the atom of an element is the average mass of the atom as compared to 1/12 mass of the C12 atom. So this is basically atomic mass unit, right? So this is the relation between relative atomic mass and atomic mass unit. Next, B is, how do you know the presence of atoms if they do not exist independently for most of the elements? So yes, we all can agree on this, that most of the atoms do not exist independently, right? Why? Because we know about their electronic configuration. So only the atoms with octet or duplet configuration, they are said to be stable and they can exist in the free state. For example, noble gases. Rest of the elements, they do have the tendency to combine, that is, they are reactive and they exist in the form of molecules, or compounds, or the formula units. So how do you know? So whenever we represent a compound, so we always write, okay, a formula unit NaCl is an ionic compound. How do you write it? NaCl. So you will always know that there are, and you have these reactions. Maybe when you decompose, you will get the components of that substance. So it is very easy to identify the presence of atoms, and as we all know that whenever I talk about sodium, it is very clear that you cannot get sodium in the free state because it is very reactive. But when I say helium, okay, helium is inert because it is stable. Right? That is how we know. Once you know the electronic configuration, once you know about the reactivity, you will know whether they exist in the free state or in the combined form. And we have different reactions also. You have X-ray. Once you go to the higher grades, you will learn how do we identify. But there are various techniques using which you can know the composition of any given compound. But now you should just know that when we write a chemical formula, we always represent the composition of that particular substance, right? H2O is water. So now I know hydrogen and oxygen. That's what it is made of. See, for example, here they have taken H2SO4. So H2SO4 consists of 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 sulfur atom and 4 oxygen atom. That is what is H2SO4. When I write the chemical formula, you will know what it is made of. Question number 4 is, what is meant by the term chemical formula? So everyone knows what is a chemical formula, right? Okay. CH4 or CO2, H2SO4. What is this? So these are the compounds, right? Methane, carbon dioxide, H2SO4. Now I'll ask you to write sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate. I want you to write the chemical formula of sodium sulfate. So what we do is, whenever I ask you to write the chemical formula, so that represents the chemical, what are the chemical components, what is present in that particular compound, right? So it is the symbolic representation of a chemical compound. So it represents what that particular compound or a molecule is made of. So when I write hydrochloric acid is HCl, okay. So that hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid has hydrogen and chlorine. When I write H2O, or CaO, okay, calcium oxide is CaO, so it has calcium and oxygen. So you are representing the components of that particular substance using the symbols. That is what is chemical formula. So chemical formula is the symbolic representation of a chemical compound. We have Na2SO4, aluminum nitride. How do you do? How do you write it? How will you know what is it made of? If I just say, okay, it is sodium sulfate, you might be confused. How many sodium atoms are there? How many sulfate ions are there? Right? So whenever you write the chemical formula, it will be very much clear, and we all know how to write the chemical formula. There are few steps which you have to follow. That is, you should know the valency, and then polyatomic ions, few polyatomic ions. It is very important for you to know them. So do practice and memorize. So even though memorizing is not a good thing, but if you practice well, then well and good. And always the atom with positive valency has to be written first. If there are any polyatomic ions, they have to be enclosed in a bracket. So these are the certain steps which you have to follow when you're writing the chemical formula. The next question is define formula unit mass, calculate formula unit mass of NaCl. So this is for 2 marks. So you have 3 to 5 minutes, but we will be solving it in 2 minutes. So define formula unit mass. So it is very much similar to molecular mass. So the sum of the atomic masses of the atoms present in the formula unit is formula unit mass. For example, when it comes to ionic compounds, we cannot call them as molecules. So of course, molecular mass will be not a very appropriate term used to calculate the mass. Right, that is when we use the term formula unit mass. For example, NaCl, which is an ionic compound, here the sodium and chloride ions, they are present in the form of clusters. So if I say molecular mass, that means in that whole molecule there are only 2 atoms, which is wrong. So NaCl is considered as a formula unit, and in that formula unit, how many ions are present? And their masses, the sum of their masses is what is known as formula unit mass. So how can you define it? The formula unit mass is the sum of the atomic masses of all the atoms present in a formula unit. If you write in a molecule, it will be wrong. In a compound, it will be wrong. Okay, because NaCl, sodium chloride, which is a crystal, which has this crystal lattice, so it is not only made of 2 ions, that is one Na plus and another Cl minus. No, so you have to mention formula unit. And how do you calculate the formula unit mass? You just have to add it. So in case of NaCl, I have Na plus, whose atomic mass is 23, plus Cl is 35.5, so it will be 58.5 unit. So this is the formula unit of NaCl. Got it? Okay, so if you want to join or take up the Pro subscription, why? You can gain 100% knowledge, score 100% marks, unlimited live classes. Yes, you can attend any number of classes. So think. And if you couldn't, if you have missed any session, do not worry, you can go back and watch the replay and play the quiz there too, and we can be on the leaderboard. So you will be competing with the students all over the world, so it will be really fun, right? So you will know where you stand and how can you improve yourself, because we'll be sending the performance report also, so you will know, and there will be always someone to guide you or to make sure that you are doing well, so which is very, very important. And we have you will get the handwritten notes of the master teachers after every session. Assignments will be shared with you. More you want, and very, very important is the in-class doubt solving. So during the session, we will make sure that all of your doubts are solved instantly. You don't have to go back or come back again or wait for 24 hours for someone to respond and all that. No, in class there will be doubt solving. So once you are a Pro subscriber, whatever the new courses which we have been launching will be absolutely free for you. There is micro courses, crash courses for competitive exam, kuch bhi. So go and take up the Pro subscription. Happy learning. But one more thing is, if you use the coupon code SURPRO, you will be able to save a lot. See, per class it's only 4 rupees, which is less than what, 5 rupees mein kya milega? I don't know, you think about it, people. So use the coupon code SURPR. So the next question is distinguish between molecular mass and molar mass. This is for 2 marks. Yes, I have seen students getting confused between molecular mass and molar mass. According to them, both are same. No. Okay, so molar mass is all about 1 mole of any substance ka quantity is molar mass. Okay, 1 mole of hydrogen is 2. Its molecular mass is also 2. But when it comes to when we are talking about the atomic mass and molar mass are not same, no? But here formula unit mass, atomic mass, molecular mass, they all can be called as molar mass. So it's all about, molar mass is about the quantity, the amount of the mass of the substance present in 1 mole of 1 mole. That's it. Whereas molecular mass is the sum of atomic masses of all the atoms present in a molecule. Whereas the mass of 1 mole of any substance is called its molar mass. And for molecular mass, we use the unit U, but for molar mass, we use gram per mole. Okay, so please be careful with that. Next is, what is an ion? Give one difference between cation and anion. What are polyatomic ions? Give example. Okay, so charged particle, they are called as ions, right? So when an atom loses electron, cation is formed. When an atom gains electron, anion is formed. So cations are positively charged, anions are negatively charged. The third is, what are polyatomic ions? Give example. So polyatomic ions are the group of atoms having a single charge, but they behave as an atom. Okay, when I talk about OH minus, so it's an ion, right? It's not like group of ions. So that is what is polyatomic ions. So ions that contain more than one atom, but they behave as a single unit. So we have phosphate, sulfate, sulfite, nitrate, hydroxyl, ammonium. There are so many. So question number 8 is, what is atomicity? What is the atomicity of phosphorus and nitrogen? So this is very easy, but students tend to get confused here. So what is atomicity? You just have to count the number of atoms present in that molecule. The number of atoms present in a molecule is atomicity. For example, phosphorus, it is tetraatomic. So what is the atomicity of phosphorus? It is 4. Nitrogen is diatomic. So its atomicity will be 2. Okay, so atomicity is the total number of atoms present in one molecule of a substance. H2SO4, what is its atomicity? H2SO4, 7. Okay, so that is how you define atomicity. See, this is for 3 marks and it's a very easy question, but please do not get confused. Atomicity is about the number of atoms, total number of atoms. So how do you count the total number? You just have to like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Very easy it is. So question number 9 is, state the law of conservation of mass. Is this law applicable to the chemical reactions? Elaborate your answer with the help of an example. So this is for 3 marks. This question is related to the law of conservation of mass. First is, they are asking you to write the statement. So law of conservation of mass states that, okay, so during a chemical reaction, so there won't be any creation or destruction of the mass. So mass can neither be created nor be destroyed during a chemical reaction is what is law of conservation of mass. Is this law applicable to all the chemical reactions? Yes. Okay, but except the nuclear reactions. So that's an exception, but law of conservation of mass is applicable to the chemical reaction. Then the answer is yes. Elaborate your answer. So here you can just take any one reaction. Okay, so you have to show that the mass of reactants is equal to mass of products. That's all. So I have taken 20 grams of reactants. So when the products are formed, the total, the sum of the mass of those products have to be 20 grams. That is what is law of conservation of mass. So here we have taken barium chloride plus sodium sulfate. Okay, 208.5 gram of barium chloride, 142 gram of sodium sulfate. Okay, so they both undergo the double displacement reaction where you will get barium sulfate and NaCl. Let me just add this one first. 5053. So it is 350.5. Okay, so mass of reactants. Now what are the products that are formed? Barium sulfate and sodium chloride. So let me add them too. 501 350, right? See, the mass of reactants is equal to mass of products. So this is what is law of conservation of mass. So next question is, define 1 mole, illustrate its relationship with Avogadro constant, calculate the molar mass of Na2O, find the mass of 10 moles of carbon dioxide. Define 1 mole. So 1 mole is the quantity of any substance having its relative atomic mass or molecular mass or formula unit mass. That's all. And 1 mole of any substance will always contain 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23, which is known as Avogadro's constant. Okay, 1 mole of any substance will contain the Avogadro number of particles. It might be ions, atoms, or molecules. That is the first question. Okay, 1 mole of any species. It might be atoms or any elementary particle. So it will contain the quantity will be equal to its relative atomic mass or molecular mass or the formula unit mass in grams. So that is the reason we are taking gram atomic, gram molecular, gram formula unit mass. So calculate the molar mass of Na2O. So 1 mole of Na2O is equal to how much? That is what is molar mass. So sodium, you have 23. Na2O it is, right? So sodium 23 into 2 plus 16 will be the answer. So molar mass represented in grams, 62 gram. Now coming to the mass of 10 moles of carbon. So 1 mole of carbon dioxide will contain 44 grams. So 10 grams will contain 10 into 44, that is 440. Okay, so these are the 3 questions which are easy peasy. So do not forget to solve them, and you should know the relationship. 1 mole is equal to the Avogadro number. 1 mole of any substance is equal to its gram atomic, gram molecular, gram formula unit mass. And molar mass, the unit which you have to use is grams. What is the mass of 0.2 mole of oxygen atom? So 1 mole of oxygen atom is 16. So 0.2 will be 0.2 into 16 will give the answer. That is 3.2 gram. Okay, so 1 mole of oxygen atoms it is. So if they just give oxygen or oxygen gas, then it will be O2. So you have to take 32 gram. But here it is 0.2 mole of oxygen atoms. So 1 mole of oxygen atom contains 16 gram. So 0.2 will contain 0.2 into 16. So 0.5 mole of water. So what is the molar mass of water? 0.5 into 18 gram. Half of it is 9 now. 9 gram will be the answer. See, 3 marks for that. Easy peasy it is. Convert it into mole. So we just, now here what we did was we converted moles into grams. How? Mole multiplied by its molar mass will give you the mass. So here they are asking us to convert it into mole. 12 gram of oxygen gas. So we know the formula, given mass upon molar mass will give you the number of moles. So 12 upon oxygen gas, that means 32 you should take. So 4 3s are 4, 8, no? 3 by 8. 1, so how much will it be? Around 0.3. So 0.375 will be the answer. Next is 20 gram of water. So 20 divided by 18 will give you the answer. Hanji. I am bad at it, so you please calculate. 1.1 moles will be the answer. So now the last one is 22 gram of carbon dioxide. So what is the molar mass of carbon dioxide? It is 44, 22. So it has to be 0.5. I know this. Right? 1 by 2, which is 0.5. So this is the answer for these kind of questions. So you should just know the relationship between the mole number and the mass and the Avogadro number. So this concept is super important. You can expect at least 1 question from this particular topic and 1 from the chemical formula. Okay, so these 2 topics are very, very important in this particular chapter, and of course the Dalton's atomic theory and the laws of chemical combination. But mole concept से एक numerical It's pakka. So this is it. We solved 12 questions related to this chapter. What is an atom? Laws of chemical combination, atomic mass, molecular mass, valency and ions, chemical formula, mole concept and molar mass. So I really hope this session was very much useful for you, because now you know what kind of questions can be asked in an exam, so you will know how to answer. Right? So here is your homework question. An element has valency 3. Write the formula of its oxide. So, crisscross method, that's what you have to do. Name the compound Al2SO4 thrice and mention the ions present in it. So they have given you the formula. They are expecting the chemical name here. So go ahead and do it and write the answer in the comment section. So I'll be looking forward for the next session, that is on 13th Feb, which is tomorrow. So till then, please take care. See, previous session was on 11th Feb. Is matter around us pure is done. Next session will be on 13th Feb at 8 p.m. So very, very important. The most important chapter in your chemistry syllabus, that is structure of atom, which will be very, very interesting. The questions will be super interesting. So do not miss the session. Be there at sharp 8 p.m. So thank you so much. If you want to take up the pro subscription, visit the link given in the description and in the pinned comment. Use the coupon code SURPRO for additional discount. Thank you so much, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share this video with your friends. Bye. Take care.